Hey guys, welcome back. Drip and Farm Pork and your Drip Coach dropping knowledge bombs on all drip ecosystem related projects. And today we're going to be talking about the Consumer Confidence Index, but not as it relates to the macro, specifically understanding this term for us within the micro and specifically the drip community. Now, this came up because someone mentioned it in a comment, just said the confidence in the drip ecosystem. And that got me to thinking about consumer confidence. And we hear this all the time in the macro side. So I decided to want to dive into this and actually break it apart so we can understand what it means. And then I want you guys to do a little analysis with me and see what you come up with. So by definition, the consumer confidence measures how optimistic or pessimistic consumers are regarding their expected financial situation. The CCI is based on the premise that if consumers are optimistic, they will spend more and stimulate the economy, but they are pessimistic, their spending patterns could lead to an economic slowdown or recession. So that's key right there, right? If they're optimistic, they will spend more. If they're pessimistic, they don't spend, right? And we look at another definition in the business side. Business and consumer confidence is the degree to which consumers and firms feel confident about their financial position and the overall state of the economy. This influences how much money they're willing to spend. This is key. So remember, this is for macro, but it 100% applies here in the crypto space and in DeFi. What is the confidence within the space? And more importantly, we're going to find out what is it towards projects in general, because you can have different confidence levels. Like we got the macro environment, then we got the crypto environment, then we have the DeFi environment, then we have our project within DeFi. And there can be different levels of consumer confidence as we dive into those. But a couple more definitions. Consumer confidence is an economic indicator that gauges consumers' perception, that's key, perception of the economy based on customer purchasing behavior. The indicator ascertains if the perception is optimistic or pessimistic. It is an indirect indication of a country's financial health. A conference board determines consumer perceptions by conducting surveys. So this just tells you again about it from that big overview, right? And that all ties into this. So how brand trust and customer loyalty are one. So that consumer confidence or customer confidence, or however you want to actually phrase it, the person spending the money, what is their confidence in the market, or what is it in the business or in the product? And that all basically ties down into trust. So trust and loyalty go hand in hand in any relationship. And it's no different when it comes to a brand and its customers. When a person loses trust in an entity, feelings of loyalty are lost as well, and it's hard to get back. For brands, it's a double loss. Psychology of trust. All relationships are built upon trust. If there is no trust, there can be no relationship. Trusting a person or brand involves estimations of the probabilities of how the person or brand will behave, and is a state of vulnerability for the person that is placing trust in another. Put another way, trust is a feeling of confidence and security in the way an entity will act. I bring that up because on my previous videos, I've seen multiple people in the comments that said they do not trust Forex anymore. And I have to agree. I don't trust him in regards to being able to execute on a deadline or any of the stuff that he says is in development, because it hasn't been delivered and we've been hearing about it for now over a year. And some of the old roadmap stuff is just not even talked about anymore. Like what happened to the Pigpen hacker game that we had? How did these other games get pushed in front of it? What happened to the other one that some people in the DAO had seen and played, and they were supposed to be getting this guy on board to do it? So I don't trust any of that anymore, for sure. I do trust him as a developer that will have a contract that is safe. And I do trust him to continue to develop in the space because it's his passion and he's not driven by any monetary gains. So on that side, 100% has my trust. And I do believe that the things he's working on, he will deliver towards, specifically on the animal farm side. And that's about where it stops. So I think I share that sentiment with at least the small community members that follow my channel. The other ones that have their head in the sand and drink the Kool-Aid, they would not admit any of that. And like I said, I get it, because when you've made millions, you don't want to upset your golden goose. So a lot of people may have issues, but they don't speak out about them because they don't want Forex to take his toys and go play somewhere else. So rather than standing up for their morals and values and what they believe, they will instead just bury their head in the sand. And like my TI used to say in the military, when he was screaming at somebody in their face, you're not allowed to look at the military instructor, and you have to just keep your eyes straight forward. So he's right there at the side of you screaming, and his phrase would be, "Make the bad man go away." So that's what he would do, because in that environment, that's all you can do. You have nothing else. You can't fight back. You can't say anything. And I feel like a lot of people, I ain't gonna say a lot, but at least some people probably in the community that have made money, they're too afraid to stand up and say something, because they don't want him to pack up and stop building or do whatever. They don't want to burn the bridge, so to speak. So I get it, you know. But anyway, let's get back into trust, loyalty, and consumer confidence, basically. So brands that are people, this is going to be, this was an eye opener for me. So I never even really heard this term, but we're going to get straight into it, and you'll find out exactly how this ties into the drip ecosystem. So brands that are people centric, that is, those brands that put people before profit, more easily gain the trust of both employees and customers. When customers and employees know that they are personally valued, they are more likely to trust a brand and remain loyal to it, as they recognize that brand prioritize relationships over sales. Customers trust brands that are honest, consistent, provide value, and put people first. Then you have, so I looked into that. I was like, what is the difference? So you got customer focused or customer centric, and then you also have product centric. So I never even really broke these apart in my head, but it makes perfect sense. So product centric organizations with heavy investments in R&D and technology continue to push the envelope to build new solutions that the market may not even realize they need. This is 100% where Forex is with his innovation. He is 100% product centric and R&D kind of developer. In short, product centric espouses, and if we build it, they will come mindset. And that's exactly how he's approached this. Remember, when the animal farm launched, and I made a video about this as well, because I once again was believing the hype. He was talking about all the liquidity on Pancake Swap and all these other dexes. He's like, the capital on those exchanges and those dexes and those bridges will come to Animal Farm because they can earn a portion of the yield and dividends. Like, they get to own the farm, right? So I looked at the numbers, Stargate and Multi-Chain and Ape Swap, any of these other dexes, right? Or chains, bridges, they have lots of liquidity sitting on them. Like, if you add them all up, it's billions sitting on those locations. But how come none of them have come over to stake it? Instead, we've seen the TVL of the Animal Farm going down. So we have the innovation, we have the actual platform, but they're not here. We didn't get any of the Pancake Swap share, I'd say. Pancake Swap is doing just fine. But there was this idea that was pitched by Forex that people would come over from Pancake Swap and stake on our farm, because why not? They would be earning double the dividends and getting their cake and all this stuff. Go back and listen to AMAs. It was there. This is exactly what he did. If we build it, they will come. That's not how it works in DeFi. So it's a great foundation, but proof is in the pudding, as they say. He has built it, and the Animal Farm is done. There's nothing else that needs to be done from the staking side. Yes, there's a new Pancake Swap version 3 and all that stuff, of course. But from the contract development side, he's built it, and they did not come. So let's look at the other side then. Customer centricity. Customer centricity, on the other hand, emphasizes the customer full stop. Every decision gets made with the customer in mind. If it doesn't improve the customer experience, it doesn't happen. So no decisions are made based off hunches or guesses, and pet projects and shiny objects are shelved unless customers clamor for them. So these are two different ways to run a business or corporation or whatever. You can have product centric or you can have customer centric. Now, it's not to say one is better than the other, and they give examples of product centric: Sonos, Apple, and Dyson. And then they give customer centric: Chewy, Zappos. Man, it's a great book. Unfortunately, rest in peace to Shay. Tim, I forgot his last name. Trader Joe's, right? So the question is, which is best? And there is no answer, because these are all profitable brands that went both ways. And since we have Forex being 100% product centric focused, I think it's on us. That's the beauty of DeFi. Remember, we don't have to follow the herd. We can do the other side. And that's exactly what I'm trying to push for, is let's have some customer centric people in the organization to actually build out the other parts of the ecosystem that are focusing on what the customers want, and then, or the clients in this case. And then at the end of the day, we have both sides covered. So we don't need Forex to do it. He can stay 100% focused on the Steve Jobs, Apple, product centric kind of stuff. And then we can do the other side. I think that is the absolute best way for Drip ecosystem to survive. So product centric organizations invest far more in advanced research and development. Meanwhile, customer centric companies require a significant commitment to customer research and analysis. And that's what this is really tying together in what I want to see with the Crypto Ranch idea. So it's not, again, to throw bombs at Forex. He's great at what he does. He does not have this pulse on this other side, nor do we need him to be, because it's actually asinine and ridiculous if you think you're going to find a visionary or a CEO that can do both of these equally. They have to be 100% focused on one side, but that's where we as a community can do the other side, because we're tapped into that aspect. And this reminded me of a quote from the military, General Patton. It was called "People First, Mission Always." So he spoke at one of our gatherings, and it's not the Air Force core values, but it was like the mission comes first. But he's like, people always, you have to always put the people before the mission, though, because without that, you don't have a mission to execute on. So at the end of the day, my question is, what is the consumer or customer confidence in the ecosystem? So that's what we started this with the definition of consumer confidence. And I wanted to drill home the idea of how that ties into the trust and loyalty based off of the focus on the different ideologies that we could build for, be it product centric and customer centric. So one might argue that the consumer confidence is down because of the market, or they might just say it's up. So I decided instead, let's look at the actual consumer confidence and see how things are shaping up. So we go to year to date. This would be a indicator of consumer confidence in crypto, Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin USD chart. So I just did year to date on this because I just want to start off with this year. And we're up. It's all green. We had a dip here, but we're still up from where we started. So that's pretty positive. And as we know, BNB follows the same narrative. So BNB was down here at the beginning of January, and it's up. So confidence in crypto, and then this would be a good indicator of DeFi because that's BNB. But yet when we move to the animal farm, here's January. So this is pigs. Pigs at the beginning of the year were $100. They're now 50% off. And we go to dogs. Dogs at the beginning of the year were $30. They are now, I don't even know what that is, 70 some odd percent off. And drip at the beginning of the year was 78 cents. We dropped down to a low of 23, and we're coming right back down to that. So consumer confidence in the drip ecosystem, clearly from the chart, is down, right? But in the global crypto market and in the smaller global DeFi market, it's up. And so you have to wonder, what focus should we have in the space? We, not Forex and his team, because we can't control them. So we as the actual community, what should we be focusing on? And I think that's what we can try and find out. We don't know. I don't know if it's going to work, but we see his focus is on product centric and he's developing products, but all three of the products are down compared to the rest of the market. Now, this is not a plug or a promo or a shill, but if we go look at Seifu, they are up year to date. So they were down at the beginning of the year. And now with whatever Seifu Go is going to be, it has brought in some hopium, some expectations, some, what did this say? The premise that consumers are optimistic. So there's something going on over here, which I mentioned it briefly on my channel, but I wanted to show that because it's not the entire market. There are products and projects that are climbing out of their hole. And remember when I zoomed out and showed you, they have a very similar chart to ours, like they got higher. But what they're doing now. And I think it's because it sounds like, I don't know hardly anything about the Safe community, so don't quote me on this, but just looking at these community pools that he's created and whatever hype he's drawing around this that's led up to this, and maybe the Vulcan chain, I don't know, whatever it is, it's caused positive price action in the token. That's all I can say. So the consumer confidence in this is positive, whereas in every piece of the animal farm and drip ecosystem, it's negative. And those are just the charts. So something needs to be done, to me, by the community, because our developer lead has a different vision, and we need him to continue to execute on this while we take it upon ourselves to do it in a different way. And we'll see what happens. Like, don't know. Will it work? Will it not work? But at least we tried. That's all we can do, right? So that was another long one, but hopefully you guys learned a little bit about consumer confidence and product centric and customer centric focus. And hopefully you're sparked up to join the cry to arms. And if you are, hit me up in the comments. I will get you the Telegram group. There's about 30 people in there now, and all of them are specifically targeted because of a skill set they have, be it marketing, promoting, be it a developer, or whatever the case may be. So there is something there. I don't know what the project will look like, how we develop it, but getting all the right people in the right place, because my goal is to bring this into the space. I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to have fun trying. So hope that provides value. If it did, smash that HBO special brother out, like, subscribe, comment down below. And until next time, live daily and achieve your impossible. See ya. Want to pay your in real life bills with crypto? How about send crypto directly to anyone with a bank account? Spritz Finance is a decentralized solution to be your own bank and connect your crypto earnings to real world bills and payments. They do not take custody of your assets and allow support on multiple blockchains and Web3 wallets. Sign up below using my referral link and you will get $50 back when you make your first $50 bill payment with crypto. Additionally, I will be using referral bonuses to airdrop, donate, or burn based on community feedback. Sign up now